everyone, to the Green Tent Circle, where every Saturday we gather in a sacred circle to nurture ourselves, one another, and Mother Earth. And then every month we have an illuminator, someone who comes who inspire us with her words, with her life work, and share with us so that we are interconnected to Dora, who you're going to meet, Elizabeth, who was also with us, and to one another. So we will have an hour of this conversation of hearing from Dora and her story of where she is today and about the whole solidarity economy, an incredible model and alternative to capitalism that is killing us. And now Angela will be introducing her friends. And also, Angela, just kind of tell how that happened. And then we'll turn it over to Dora and to Elizabeth.
Well, I'm very honored today to introduce you to my new friend, Dora. We met in Salvador this year in a meeting from the group of Pintadas women that I have met by coincidence also, and Lorivania was one of the illuminators here last year. I don't believe that there is coincidence. I believe that things happen for a reason. So I'm very proud to say now that I have a friend like Dora, who is really one of those that really started the solidarity economy movement. And like the song says, we cannot do all alone. So she is the biggest testimony of that because of her work in the solidarity economy and her work with the women. So I introduce you, my friend, Dora.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela. As you said, there's not only coincidence, the God is conspiring and in our well living, and that's it. That's how all the things get together. And I had problems with my cell phone. Then my friend Ricardo, who is here, helped me, say, no, let's go to Elizabeth's house. She has everything there and she will help. And that's what happened. That's why we are three of us here. It's a great honor. As you said, the coincidences are so great, and it's a very good, great honor to get with you all, and you are all invited to come to Brazil anytime. And it's a very honor to talk to you all. Thank you very much.
So how did this all start for you, Dora? How did you get involved?
Oh, with what happened is that I used to live in Santos, in São Paulo, state of São Paulo. And my husband at that time deal with the homeless people. And I went to some meeting with him. And then after the people get the houses, we keep talking with the women because they have the houses but no jobs. And then we start to talk about what to do. And then we organize the cooperatives, the popular cooperatives. That's where and when it started, because I was just a technician until then. And then we start to talk about what to do. And one thing that they note is they use the women. First was the men. They are building houses, and we have made the first cooperative for housing. And then with the women for the cleaning the schools because they were in trouble with the cleaning of the schools. And then we start to organize the women and make the cooperative for cleaning. And then the sewing, that some of them know how to sew, and the prefeitura need to make uniforms, and then we start to make uniforms. And then that's how the economy movement start in São Paulo, and first in Santos and São Paulo, and then start all over after the Fórum Social Mundial, the International Forum in 2000. It spread all over the country.
Wow.
And until now, it's not only a movement, but it's a political policy in many of prefeituras and states, and now in the government, the federal government too. We have a Secretary of Economia Solidária in the Ministry of Work. And then me too, I work in the president, is the president's staff, and we have a dialogue with movements, including the economy, solidarity economy, and we have women, Negroes, etc. And we dialogue with all the movement. We in the government receive the demands of the movements, and we organize people in conferences, and we start with delegates. We have all this organization from the people. We get together the people from the state and the people from the movement, and we talk and discuss about the policy of economy, popular economy. And we have a special secretary for this movement. Now I work with these people all over the country, and whenever they come to we have a forum of economic solidarity. We have the people from the governments, the local governments, the state, and the governor of the state, and the people from the movements that they work with working in different activities, and it's very popular, and it's growing a lot in Brazil right now, and it's international movement too.
Wow.
And just for coincidence, I met Angela in Salvador in one of this meeting, and then we connect with you all. And the movement is growing and growing. There with more than 10 ministries in Brazil deal with the economia solidária. They organize people in their work and how they work in the conditions of work, and we organize cooperatives and groups of women and workers in every area, and we organize fairs, and we organize forums where we discuss our main subjects that it's very strong now in Brazil. Fortunately, we have a popular movement very strong now, and it just not only for women, for Negroes, for whatever, housing, and it's a very strong movement in Brazil. And I'm glad that I met Angela in a meeting of Economia Solidária in Salvador. It's just a coincidence. And then she taught me about you. It's a great honor to talk to you, and I invite you to come anytime in Brazil, because we have a lot of different movements and different struggles and different kind of movements that it's very interesting because the Indian they have their own movement, the Negroes, the women, etc. And all of them work with Economia Solidaria because everybody wants to make that survival with their work. This is our subject, and it's a great honor to talk to you all. Thank you.
Well, no, I just want to recap some things. I love how you started out with the people. And with the people, first it was housing, and then when they got housing, they learned because they were building their own housing. So then they got carpentry skills. They knew how to build a house, right? And so so that money went back to them, you know? I mean, they had jobs because the whole thing was, yeah, they had a house, but they didn't have a job. Then that happened with the cleaning. So not only were they cleaning, then they became the cleaning service and they got paid, right?
Right, that's it.
Right, and so it's this whole thing about you do the work, you get the money, and the money stays in the community. Is that correct?
Yeah, and cooperative is not just work, individual.
Right, it's cooperatives,
They
yes.
get together to make the work. That's why we call Economia Solidaria. It's to make money, but it's not a private.
Right,
It's got to get together. In cooperatives in Brazil, the law says that you have to have at least 20 persons.
Oh.
And sometimes it's very difficult. This is good and a problem too, because sometimes we don't have 20 persons who wants to get into the cooperative. And then we start to get a cousin, a friend that doesn't belong to the same ideas, you see? And this is one thing that is changing. So now you can work with cooperative with less people too. But by the law, it's 20 persons to make a cooperative. And we are changing the law to make cooperatives groups with less people, but have other rules, like the same budget, the same work, and the workers organize their own work. There's not a owner. Everybody is the owner. So we have to discuss how to work, how it's gonna be paid, how it's gonna be made the timetable and things like that.
So the solidarity economy movement, and it's also, I know that it is now very much a part of the government.
Right.
And government and the president of Brazil, De Silva Lulu, everybody calls him Lula, and is very much supportive of this. So you have from the top to the bottom this amazing network.
Right, you're correct. And this is really happened. I can tell you. And I'm really glad because I've been seeing in many different ministries actions with economy, solidarity economy, which is very good. It's not centralized in just the Ministry of the Work, but the different ministries are working in this area, because the healthy, for example, they have the people who needs to make money, but they are not really a cooperative. They just get together and make fairs, but no, they don't have many organization enough to make a movement. But it's the need. The need makes the organization, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And the next step is to come to contact with the economy official, a solidarity economy, because we have funds, we have organization, we have support for training, and not just training with the work, but the mind, the political meaning. This is what I think is the best part of the Economia Solidaria in the Ministry of the Work. It's they have forums that they are for people that from the government, but they have forums just for the movement, for the workers, that people from the governments or local or state doesn't belong to. You see, this is, I think it's just the main part of the movement, because we have states, organizations, but you have also, and mainly, the people organizing their work, because nobody knows better their work than the workers. So, and this is growing in Brazil, especially with the women, and but too with the Negroes, with the healthy people, and it's a very important movement that is taking place in Brazil right now. And the important is not the work, but it's the organization. How do people work, and the conditions, and the discussion of how when they are going to work. And it's growing, especially with the women and the healthy people too, because the law doesn't make it easy to people who has some kind of difficulty to get the work, and the bureaucracy and sometimes are very hard to people who has some trouble to make the work. And the economy, solidarity economy, comes exactly to provide these people some support to make this movement grows. And it comes from the state, but too and mainly from the people. And when the people organize, and then they come to the states to ask their needs and to fight for their needs. And this is a very strong movement, and I'm glad that it's taking place in many different areas in Brazil, and especially the women, the healthy, and the Negroes,
Dora, the disabled.
Right.
The disabled, yeah, maybe mentally challenged. Right. And what I love that you said, Dora, about and that was you don't put labels on them. You don't put labels on them, but they work with them so that they can also be able to be a productive worker.
Right. And we have a very strong movement for it. It's the anti-manicomial work organizations. And because, when they are in crisis, okay, it's very hard, but when they are not, they are like anyone like us. So, and they have a very good work, and we are doing some work with the prefeituras that accept their work. You see, it's right. Because nobody lives
City hall.
They live in the towns. They live in the small villages. So we have to give support and to talk with the governors, the local governors. We talk about them and give the support. This is very important from our Ministry of Economia Solidaria. And I don't know what happened. What else you would like to know?
Well, I think it's so different from the capitalist system. Right. And it's so different from an autocratic governance where the government tells you what you can do and usually takes away our freedom of choice.
Mhm.
And so what you're really talking about is freedom for all the people of Brazil, whether they're indigenous, black, white, what, no matter what their ethnic background is, they have the freedom to work, meaning to find meaningful work.
Mhm.
And that the government on a state and local and national level is there to support them through this solidarity economy. Is that sort of
Right.
okay? Got it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the good part is that it is growing in Brazil. You see, first it just few places, and how it's going, good results. It's growing. This is the good part. It
Yes.
is going outside the government. This is the best part. We have forums for economy solidarity. It's just there is the forum for the people from governments, local and state and someone. But the mainly part is the movement of the people
Yeah.
that get organized, and they ask for the local government's support. They asked for the local government to make fairs, to have the support of fairs. I'm very proud. The town that I come from Bahia, where I work with economy solidarity. It's where I learned economy solidarity. It was when I lived in Bahia. And I'm so glad that more than 20 years ago, and they are still there.
Wow.
So I really feel kind of proud that because I'm far from there more than 15 years, but until now, I usually go there because I vote there. I go everywhere because they give me the citizen title, and I feel with obligation to stay there as much as I can. And in Vitória da Conquista, and until now, they have the fairs of Economia Solidária that we start 20 years ago.
I love
So,
that it's called the Flowers for Democracy movement, and
yeah,
that it was when Lula was imprisoned in 2018 and
right.
demanding his freedom. And we place these fighting flags on feminist projects and social justice. And it is not only now in 10 different departments in the national government, but it is local and it is a movement. And movements like this, and it's been going on successfully for all the years that you did, it can't be stopped, right?
Yeah, I have to show you. Betty, cadê as flores que eu te trouxe? I will show you.
Okay.
The question of the flower is very interesting. You remind me now. And when Lula was in prison, every Wednesday we went to in front of the trial, the federal trial,
Jail.
the jail.
Okay.
No, not the jail. Here in Brasilia, no tribunal,
The Supreme
the
Court.
Supreme Court. Every week we went with the flowers and with this flag. We'd say, freedom for Lula, freedom for Lula, freedom for Lula. Every Wednesday we went to the free with the freedom Lula. So then we went to where he was in jail. We made everywhere in São Paulo, here in Brasilia, in other places. The women make the free Lula, with this ribbon, like it says free Lula.
Yes.
After he get free, now we change. It's for the healthy, for the women, but we still make the flowers.
Ah, nice.
See? This is very easy to make. It's a way to work and talk with people, doing something. And then we decide what we were gonna put in the ribbon and whatever. It's a kind, and everybody can do it. And it's nice. Nobody said, no, I don't want. Sometimes they want to give a paper and people don't, no, I don't want politicians. They refuse to receive. But a flower, nobody said no.
No, nobody says no. That's so great.
This is a very good strategy. It started in São Paulo, really. The women in São Paulo made it in São Paulo, and then they bring and teach me here in Brasilia, and then we still keep doing and change it, just the message. It's for women, for healthy, etc. And it's a good strategy to talk to with women. I used to go to, here we have posto de saúde, is the healthy, how you call, Angela, help me. It's
Health,
health point.
It's a kind of a health corner where people go firsthand when they have anything wrong. There's one or two doctors that will indicate, no, you go here or there, so it's the first.
This is a state policy. This is a state policy. Everywhere in Brazil, every small town, you have what we call posto de saúde. This is a post of health, where you have a doctor or you have a nurse, you have the first, and some of them are very organized with people that keep the groups of ladies or whatever, young people, old people, and some gyms. They make gyms. So this is very everywhere in Brazil with a political policy, and everywhere you have a posto de saúde, a health post. And then the people have to wait a long time until the doctor receives. So we keep making flowers and talk. See, this is one of the strategies. Another strategy is my friends that from the fair, they go to the post to talk until the pregnant are waiting for the doctor. They do sewing the name of the children. You see, we have many strategies to talk to people.
That's so good. That's so good. And I want to, Dora, I know that you were going to be talking to us from your fair, from your farmers market, where you'll have all the local crafts and sewing and food. And I also love that you have political banners at this festival every Saturday. And so that not only are they doing the local economy, this exchange, but they're also being able to talk about the things that matter to them, especially for those who have been marginalized before. How it's really a compassionate economy, because it is those in need get the attention and get the support.
Yeah. Oh, I was at the fair. I was supposed to talk to you from the fair, but it's raining. And then I asked to Elizabeth to help me, because my idea was to talk from the fair.
Right.
But it started to rain, and I said, my friend Ricardo said, then let's go to Betty's house. She has everything there, and she puts everything she fixed, and then you can talk with your friends. That's what happened. My plan was to talk to you from the fair, and my colleagues from the fair, they're all women, very political positions.
Right. Strong women.
Strong political women.
Yeah, not just sewing, but sewing heads too.
Right.
With people, and they teach for women that are pregnant, and how to sew the name of the children, the child that is you see, you see, it's a handcraft work, but mainly it's a political.
Right, right. But you're combining. We have in America, we have a lot of farmers markets, and so that's kind of an exchange of economy. But we don't put the political in. We don't change people's minds. We don't bring up the consciousness of who's being left behind in our society and how can we help them. But that's what is happening in Brazil, which is so.
Right.
We need to have your model here in America and in other parts of the world. Yeah.
If
You
I
are
can,
welcome to copy. Here, as we are in Brasilia, many ministers come to visit the fair.
Oh,
You see,
nice.
because
Nice.
as they have a political position, it's not a neutral or just pursuing, but it's to work with her, with the conscience, with the people.
Right, right.
if I may say something, what I feel is that this kind of work empowers people when
Right.
they are able to really start doing the work, because what is happening is that themselves and by themselves and through themselves. And this is very empowering. And
Yeah.
politically, it has a very big impact. So I would love if you can talk a little bit about the impact of solidarity economy on Brazil's economy.
It's a very, very good question, because one movement that starts just like as a movement nowadays, is a political from the bottom to the top. I mean, and the small groups start to work, just not just the work, but to work with the head to think about how is the work, how is this work be paid. We have more than just make flowers or sewing. We have to work with the heart and the conscience. This is the work. This is the part, the difficult part of the work. And when you are sewing or doing flowers, it's something that comes with pleasure. So we put political thoughts with political talks with something that brings pleasure. It's a great strategy to make people think and to make things with pleasure. This is, I think it's a good strategy. It's not just work, it's not just talk, but put together these two strategies to
So
talk
consciousness raising.
and
Yes.
thought.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're
With
doing the
pleasure,
conscious.
because we politicals people, we talk a lot, but sometimes we talk too much.
No.
And sometimes people want to have pleasure. And when you can put these things together, pleasure and making things, it's the best. That's what we call the economy, because people need money too. But not just work, and work with the hands and the head, the conscience. This is our challenge. This is how we are working hard. And fortunately, nowadays, we are having very good partners in the ministries, because money, some ministers has more money than others. So when they get together, it's the best. My friend Elizabeth, the house we are, she works with the technologies and in the Amazon. So this is a very good challenge, because the resource there is not much, and they have to deal with what they have, right? So,
Right.
and this is eases the economy. It makes the people, let the people survive. So this is the challenge. But it's not just work. Work and think about how they work, who is making the best part of the work, and the security and things like that. This is the economy, the popular economy. People working, but thinking too, not just with the hands, but the conscience with
Right.
the hands.
Right. So it's, I know that liberation theology came out of Brazil, came out of Latin America, which is a theology for the people, by the people. And I certainly know that that was what changed the Pintadas mentality that Lavana's story is. And that's what this is. It is the whole thing of that. It is true democracy. It is true freedom. And the structures are built around the people's needs.
Right.
Instead of we have, these are the laws and the policies, you fit into it. No, this is ground upwards to the policymakers, to the government agencies to support the people's movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're going
Right.
to have COP30 in the Amazon next year. And
Yeah, we are waiting for you. You're welcome.
Let's go.
But the thing that's so exciting is that all the COP, many years, and certainly this year, is all about the capitalist system, which supports fossil fuels, which supports that which is killing us. To hold it in Brazil, in the Amazon, with the solidarity economy and a President Lula, we have a chance to be able to bring this to the whole world.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. I hope so, and that is why I'm fighting too.
And we could all make flowers.
You're welcome.
So maybe Elizabeth could talk to us about some of this.
Yeah, her technology in the Amazon. Elizabeth, hi.
Hi.
Tell us about your job, please, and your hopes for what you can do with technology in the Amazon.
Yes, this is the new subsecretary in the Minister for Science and Technology. But today, because it's an informal meeting, I like to talk more formal later, because now it's very, I don't talk much formal because I don't represent my job now, but I'm working, and very interesting to make so many good things for Amazon and all area, for security, food, for the indigenous people, for the energy, for development, for the cycle economy, everything to develop it for Amazon, interested for now, for the Ministry for Science and Technology. This is a new area for the minister, and I need to develop more. The minister have so many things about the Amazon, but this is a special subsecretary for only Amazon, for the, for this area, for the ministry. Very interesting and a very important thing, I think so. And I hope develop more project and develop more for protecting Amazon grow, but the right way. Okay. This is,
Yes, we've had
later, if you need more, institutional things, maybe provide some meet or later involve more. with you and Dora always talk about the things, and then I'm still together for this point.
The good part is that the Ministry of Technology has a department that talks about economia solidária.
Yeah,
It's
right.
new.
It's very
It's
good.
new. You
So-
see,
Yeah.
we're
How do you think this technology can enhance the work of Indian groups and even cooperatives in the Amazon? How you are planning to work on that?
Well, now, for example, now has have so many things about what say Amazon is dry now, and now to protect for development the right agriculture for learn for teacher more. What can I do for the right way for don't destroy the forest? In this kind with the point for the technology, it's help for develop more for the agriculture, for the energy, for so many things.
Right. And you know, we've known worldwide that when the Amazon is in trouble because of the cutting down of the forest, we're all in trouble because the Amazon is our lungs. And,
Yes.
and then they said if the Amazon went, we would all die. None of us would be able to survive. So to know that this is all going on in the Amazon and throughout Brazil is very hopeful.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the minister have 3 institutes for study Amazon, and in Belém have one Museu Guild, have one in IMP for protection for the burn for protection, and they have in Mamirawa another institute for the Minister for Science Technology. So it's involved about development for the right development with sustainability for Amazon too.
So, Elizabeth, are they using this technology to help fight the miners from Indian lands?
Yes, this is to protect it for the right way, for don't what to say. If technology and the science help, this is very important for the agriculture, for the soil, for fertilizant, everything you do it right in the right way. So this is important. I think so. This is it. Government so many projects to help for the Amazon, grow and still in the right way.
Well, the isolation that has happened, that was before, where there wasn't that communication within the Amazon is now, because of technology, can happen, and that communication can go all the way to the governments, you know, so that there's an awareness of what is happening, and there are policies and help for the protection of the land and the people, correct?
Yes, so but in this way, I propose to talk more with my superior or something for the institutional. Now it's a formal thing. I open for the informal, no? But make for formal thing, and then you have more, subject around this thing.
Right.
And they're interested in maybe arrangement, Dora for security, food for the economy solidarity. So have so many things to do for the Amazon. For for the protection the forest is very important for us and for the world too.
Yes. Yeah.
So within what you can tell us, what has been done to protect the indigenous people, even the people they call ribeirinhos that live are not indigenous, but live by the rivers, on the river.
I would say that they are
and
more
also
organized than
the,
we think. You
Huh?
see, I would say that the indigenous are more organized than we think.
I know
with the
that.
technology and the 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 new generation of the Indians, and they know, they have now more conscience of their situation, you know. And for coincidence, I have met some of them recently, and we have a very good conversation. And they have no, well, it's hard to say Indians because the indigenous are many.
Yes.
They are many and different. We cannot generalize all every, like, if they are the same. They are not. And but they have enough conscience right now, I think, that what they want and how they want to do things be done. This is a truth too. And we have to learn how to deal with them. It's not the opposite. Not, I mean, that we have to understand them more than we do, because they understand us more than we think they know.
Right. And that's true with any marginalized people, you know.
Right. You're right. You're right.
And that those who are in the dominant sort of society need to learn from the marginalized. They know what they need, they know the solutions, and we cannot fit them into a box. So, yeah, and you're doing that. That's so good.
Okay.
And I know we
So,
have about 10 more minutes, about 7 more minutes, and I'd like others to be able to just, if that's okay, Dora and Elizabeth, sort of your parting words, and then I would like for them to have their parting words of how listening to what this important work especially by the women, you two beautiful women, and then what does it mean for them? Okay, so any parting words that the two of you have for us, for learning about you all?
It's a very surprise for me because I don't expect this meeting.
I just came because my internet was
It
bad,
was for us
and
too.
my friend said, "No,
Very
let's go
good.
to Page's house."
Meant to be.
Yeah.
That we're now all connected, and so that's really wonderful. So we're honored and really grateful for the work you're doing and for being with us. And for others who would like to open their mics and give appreciation and any parting words, please do that, because this has been so, we're kind of trying to go not to be in despair about what's happening in our country, and to focus on what is good in other parts of the world and that we can bring to our country. So this has been very energizing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Flowers for the democracy.
Yes.
I love it.
Democracy.
Well, you inspired me very much, both of you. And I've been doing something lately when I'm on Zooms with wonderful women, and that I pick up my pencils and I just start to doodle, to draw. And I never draw people, but I drew a picture of you. Because your spirit is so beautiful that it just went onto my paper. I don't really know how to draw, but so you inspired art in me, and also a desire to know more about what's really going on in Brazil and the Amazon. I've been there once and love to go again. So thank you for your good work.
You're welcome.
And Barbara, you and your circle, how about hearing from you?
Yes, thank you so much. I want to thank you for this fabulous presentation. We're really, we've been talking about women in circles and working, and in our country today. It's very difficult. So this has been very hopeful. This has been very, and it's common sense, you know, this makes sense. It's just the right thing to do. I love the combination with the art and making the flowers and the talking. So the talking and the doing and thinking. And this is just the way that we work. And we're actually here in our yurt, you know, we're here around in our little yurt in southern New Hampshire, where it's very, very cold right now. And we're going to get together around the fire and start thinking about how we can make flowers and change our farmers markets into places of political consciousness for this solidarity community. So thank you. Thank you.
That's
so much.
awesome.
Okay,
Yeah. And this
Judy.
is Pat and this is
Pat.
Patsy.
And hello, so good to have you.
Thank you
so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
It's been so good to see you, Dora. Thank you so much for sharing. Solidarity economy, it's so interesting. I just love it, especially when you talked about the mental health aspects. As I indicated, we're going to talk more about that because it's so important. Thank you so much. It was great to meet Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I hope there'll be another time when we can talk more about technology and how it's going to help the Amazon, because the Amazon is in trouble. We're all in trouble. And I'm hoping that COP29 has good outcomes that will flow into COP30 to help us, climate and all. So thank you so much.
But it's been an honor, Dora and Elizabeth. I'm also really inspired by what you did going every, would you say Wednesday with the flowers?
Saturdays.
In solidarity with Lula. That is just something that I want to take away with this. Thank you so much. And you just inspire me and energize me. And I hope to go to Brazil one day. I used to
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just want to thank you also. I'm grateful that I tuned in to learn what you all are doing in Brazil. It gives me much hope. And of course, it reminded me of my time in Vermont. We had cooperatives and farms at home, agricultural shares, you know, and small businesses. And unfortunately, I've seen how it's sort of changing, and they're selling their companies to Amazon and bigger businesses, which is disheartening. But I hope that we can go back to more local living.
This is it's an incentive to do that. Thank you, Marilyn, because I know that, you know, we were a very, very more and more growing movement on that, community-supported agriculture, the barter system. We were trying all different things that were very life-giving. And now we need to go back to them. And Dora and Elizabeth, you've inspired us. Brazil has inspired us. And so we're going to keep moving forward. I know that because of this. So thank you all. Thank you all for being this. Thank you, Angela, for your connections. And thank you all for being in the Green Chance Circle. And I hope, Dora and Elizabeth, you'll come back sometime.